Hi guys, welcome back to Vanz channel again. Based on last week's request, today I will share a list of 60 playable Winlator games for you to play on POCO F6 or other Android devices that have a similar chipset, namely Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. As you know, this chipset already supports the Turnip Mesa driver, which was first released by Kimchi for revision 1 in Turnip 24.3. Some of the gameplay from the following list mostly uses Turnip 25 or Turnip 25.1, so please do your own experiment and you can judge which is better for your driver usage. Okay folks, no more talking. Let's begin. First, Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. DMC 4 Special Edition is a game that is quite heavy for you to play. To overcome crashes or black screens in the game, please change the preset settings, especially the Dynarec section. 2. Devil May Cry 5. To run this game on Winlator, you'll need a configuration file and some software installed within Windows. Don't forget to lower the game's graphics settings. 3. GTA 5. As with most mid-range chipsets, GTA 5 certainly runs well on this chipset, and even better. The POCO F6 was a fairly powerful processor in the mid-range class back in 2024. 4. Resident Evil 3 Remake. Use Winlator Bionic and the drivers shown below to run this game at up to 50 FPS. Feel free to change the preset settings if you want better performance. 5. Resident Evil 7. This chipset is certainly powerful enough to run this game even at HD resolution. However, keep in mind that for optimal performance, you'll need to synchronize the preset settings with the 8S Gen 3's performance. 6. Red Dead Redemption 1. It is not a new thing if it is able to run this game very well. Even in the latest version of Winlator or Bionic, everything runs more stable. 7. Red Dead Redemption 2. To play Red Dead Redemption 2 on the latest version of WinLabel, you'll need the Turnip messaging driver. While the game is still semi-playable, under certain conditions, you can achieve 30 FPS or even higher. 8. Blur. With FPS performance reaching 40 in almost all tracks, this game should be included in the playable game category for Snapdragon 8 S Gen 3 on Winlator without any graphic bug issues. 9. NieR Automata. Some people may experience FPS drops when playing this game on POCO F6 or those with similar chipsets. In this case, you can change the preset settings to further improve the performance. 10. Alan Wake. Alan Wake is a unique game to play. It even runs stably on this chipset, reaching 60 FPS or even higher. This game also not quite difficult to set up. 11. One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. This is one of the lightest fighting games to play on WinLab, especially for mid-range devices like the POCO F6. Simply use the Turnip Mesa driver as recommended below to maximize performance. 12. Need for Speed Payback. If you want to play this game more smoothly and stably, please lower the game graphics and don't forget to set the appropriate settings in the box 64 preset profile. 13. Bioshock 2. The POCO F6 or Snapdragon 8S 3rd generation can now run this game at up to 60 FPS. You may need to adjust additional settings or configuration to get it to run. 14. Prototype 2. This is one of the best open-world games that is already playable on Winlator, but some mid-range devices that have inadequate Antutu scores will have a hard time running it at 30 FPS. 15. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. With the right settings, this game will definitely run well on your device. Lower the resolution and graphics quality for even better performance. 16. YS10 Nordics. is a well-regarded action RPG that offers a refreshing experience within the Wise series, with strong combat, engaging characters, and a compelling story, though it may not completely reinvent the wheel. 17. The Evil Within. This game is also quite smooth to play, as long as you use the Turnip Mesa driver. Use the Turnip and DXVK recommendations below for better performance. 18. The Evil Within 2. This sequel to the Evil Within series requires quite complex settings to achieve stable FPS performance. Eliminate all graphics options that can degrade in-game performance. 19. Mafia 2. Whether Mafia 1 or the second, all of these games run very well and smoothly. You may experience slight drops in FPS while recording, or your device may get hot. 20. GTA 4. There's no doubt about it. GTA 4 is one of the lightest games to play for POCO F6 users, or those with similar chipsets. Use the appropriate settings to run this game. 21. Battlefield 4. Of all the Battlefield games, Series 4 is the lightest to run on Winlator. Using a Snapdragon 8 S Gen 3, you'll achieve FPS performance reaching 60. Next, Tekken 7. Tekken 7 isn't actually a particularly difficult game to run on either Winlator or Game Fusion. A POCO F6 or similar processor will be able to run this awesome fighting game with great stability. Next, Jump Force. Jump Force is a very engaging fighting game. It's one you should definitely try playing on Winlator using your POCO F6. Next, Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs also runs very well on this chipset. You can lower the graphics settings in-game or in the preset menu to improve performance. Also, use the driver and DXVK suggestions below. Next, Dark Souls 3. This game really requires fine-tuning. Change some Dynarex in the preset menu to ensure the game runs smoothly. Also, don't forget to use a lower resolution than recommended to avoid potential lag. 26. Syndicate. Syndicate is a game that delivers on its core promise of stylish, futuristic FPS action, especially in co-op. However, its generic story and occasional visual issues prevent it from reaching its full potential. Next, Days Gone. If you use the POCO F6 while playing this game, you'll experience varying FPS performance. Sometimes you'll get below 20 FPS in certain locations, and sometimes you'll reach 30 FPS. Next, Mad Max. Mad Max is an open-world game that's also quite demanding to play. To ensure the game runs smoothly, avoid using high or medium graphics settings. Lower all settings to get better performance. Next, The Quarry. The Quarry is generally considered a worthwhile experience, particularly for fans of narrative-driven horror games and those who enjoyed Until Dawn. Next, God of War 2018. This is a semi-playable game on WinLab, especially on mid-range devices like the POCO F6. You'll also encounter FPS drops in some areas, dropping below 20 FPS. 31. Wild Rumble. Wild Rumble is a 3v3 roguelike soccer game where players evolve their team through dangerous arenas while scoring goals. It features a roguelike campaign and a quick play mode for single matches. Next, Nikoderiko, The Magical World. Nikoderiko Director's Cut offers players a unique experience that combines a gripping narrative, engaging storyline, vibrant graphics, and addictive, intuitive gameplay. Next, Street Fighter V Champion Edition. This is one of the fighting games that is very light to play on Winlator, and you can use HD resolution without any bugs or FPS drops. Next, Inversion. Inversion is a game similar to Control, where you can manipulate gravity and shoot enemies. The game also runs very smoothly on this chipset. Next, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. By using the driver and DXVK as shown below, this Middle-earth game will run quite well and stably at 30 FPS and above. 36. Star Ocean: The Last Hope. The game from the same series also run well on this chipset. You may need to install a program in Windows to improve performance, and don't forget to lower the graphics quality slightly. Next, Digimon World Next Order. For fans of the Pokemon franchise, this game is highly recommended. The game runs smoothly, and you can use HD resolution. Next, Serious Sam 3 BFE. Serious Sam 3 BFE is a solid entry in the series for fans of classic FPS games, offering a dose of intense, over-the-top action. This game also running very well, around 60 FPS. Next, F1 2018. Now, the POCO F6 and similar chipsets have seen significant performance improvements, especially when using the latest Win label or Bionic. Use the driver and DXVK suggestions below to slightly increase your FPS. Next, Oceanhorn 2, Knight of the Lost Realm. Oceanhorn 2 is generally considered a good action-adventure game, particularly for those who enjoy the Zelda-like genre. 41. Lost Planet Extreme Condition. Lost Planet Extreme Condition is a visually impressive and action-packed third-person shooter with a unique setting and engaging combat mechanics. The game itself runs very well on this chipset. Next, Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. As you can see in the following gameplay, the game runs very well using the drivers and DXVK as suggested below to make the game run well. Next, Earth Defense Force World Brothers. Earth Defense Force World Brothers is generally considered a fun and enjoyable spin-off that offers a different take on the EDF formula. Next, Kane and Lynch Deadman. This is one of the best action shooter games and is very light to play on Winlator. It's also not too difficult to set up. Next, Bioshock Infinite. This game only runs smoothly on mid-range and high-end devices. Some additional settings may be required to increase the FPS performance. 46. Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. This game has received generally positive reviews for its unique blend of gameplay elements, engaging story, and memorable characters. Now, this game running very well on this chipset by using latest Winlator. Next, Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. Use the turnip I recommend below to run the game without any bugs. Don't forget to improve game performance by lowering the graphics quality and preset settings. Next, The Sims 4. This game doesn't require any special settings to run on Winlator. Simply use the driver and DXVK settings below and set the preset to performance, and the game will run perfectly. Next, Dead Rising 3. Please change the preset settings in the box 64 profile to improve the game's performance. You may also experience occasional FPS drops under certain conditions. Next, Spider-Man Web of Shadows. In fact, besides the Web of Shadows series, other series like The Amazing Spider-Man also run very well on this chipset. Its performance is also quite stable. 51. Dishonored. Dishonored is a fairly lightweight game to play on Winlator. To improve performance, change the preset settings and lower the graphics quality for better FPS. Next, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered is a fun and engaging experience for fans of open-world action and destruction-based gameplay. By using recommended driver and DXVK below, you will be able to run this game smoothly. Next, Biomutant. Biomutant is one of my favorite adventure games, and so far it's run well on mid-range devices. Don't forget to always lower the graphics quality to ensure the game runs smoothly. Next, Assassin's Creed Origins. This game is very difficult to adjust to improve performance. Before playing, be sure to lower the graphics settings and play at a low resolution. Next, Fallout 4. Whether using a mid-range or high-end processor, this game is able to run very well. Make sure to use the appropriate settings in the preset menu. 56. Gundam Breaker 4. Gundam Breaker 4 is generally considered a solid entry in the series, particularly for fans of gunpla building and customization. The game is running very well now on this chipset. Next, Little Orpheus. Little Orpheus is a well-crafted adventure game that excels in storytelling, character development, and visual presentation. Make sure to always use the appropriate settings so that the game can run well. Next, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway. In fact, this game is still very demanding to play on Winlator, and the FPS performance is still below 30 FPS. Sometimes, you'll get a stable FPS in certain arenas. Next, Ride 2 is one of the most popular motorcycle racing games on consoles. Now, with just Winlator, you can play this awesome game on the POCO F6 very well. Final list, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This game is very playable now on POCO F6 or similar chipset. Some heavy games like GTA 5 previously can be run on this chipset very perfectly, as long as the settings are right. Okay folks, those are the top 60 playable games on Winlator using devices powered by a Snapdragon 8S 3rd Gen processor. Since the chipset supported turnip drivers last year, almost all games can now run smoothly on this chipset. However, you should keep in mind that not all games run smoothly with the same preset settings. Therefore, to improve game performance, please adjust the preset settings according to your needs. Okay guys, if you think this video useful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Vanzi channel. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.